Good morning, gang. Happy Monday. Back to the grind. So, I'm going to start off the week here with a controversial subject that science will agree with me, not Dr. Fauci science, but actual science. Uh, and environmentalists will disagree with me. Okay. Now, y'all know me. I am not a proponent of the Green New Green New Deal. That is being pushed by all these climate fanatics, all right? And that's fine. They want to push whatever they want to push. That's great. They want to own an electric car, go buy an electric car. That's wonderful. You do what you want. I'm going to stick to the science. So I was having a conversation yesterday with Mr. and Mrs. Mountaintop Prepper, and you guys probably know I've mentioned it a few times that Mr. Mountaintop Prepper is a beekeeper. One of the many things he does, but it's a hobby. And so we were talking about that yesterday afternoon, and he had mentioned that all his bees had died. I was like, oh, that's interesting. He goes, no. He goes, talking to other beekeepers around Tennessee, all their bees had died too. Talking to some of the bigger people in the hobby down in Texas, all their bees had died too. Now, they had asked one person, what's it about? And the standard answer that you'll get from a politician, is, oh, it's the spraying and everything like that. The answers from the beekeepers is no, it's because of 5G. Now, I'm going to give you this. 1/3 of the world's population, or 1/3 of the world's food supply, I'm sorry, not population, 1/3 of the world's food supply requires pollination. That's scary considering what we've got going on right now with all the other food problems in the world. Okay. Here's another little stat for you. The population of flying insects has decreased nearly 80% since 1989. Now, granted, we didn't have 5G 30 years ago. Okay. There's multiple things that will cause it. Spraying is one of them. Don't get me wrong. All right. But why are all the bees dying all of a sudden? We've heard for years, plant wildflowers, do whatever. We've got to get the bee population back. Yeah, we really do. Okay. But if you want to talk about something that human beings are doing that affects the climate, okay, it is destroying our food supply by destroying the pollinators, destroying insects. Sure, you get ants running through your house or cockroaches or something like that. Yeah, kill them. Okay. I'm not saying anything like that. Get rid of them. You don't want them in the house. There's a place for everything in life, and the place for ants in life is not my house. So I went and did some research on this. And it was kind of interesting because you can find stories on both sides saying, oh, does 5G kill bees? Yes and no. So I went and I looked up some of the, I guess, most well-known, renowned people, okay, as to what was going on. So on the, oh no, this is complete conspiracy theory BS, I found Sally Eaves, okay, who is a doctor, British, chief technology officer in the past. She's been part of Forbes, studied at Oxford, everything like that. I mean, she's got decent credentials, okay? But she's a complete blowhard, all right? I mean, she's a British white version of Stacey Abrams. All talk, no substance whatsoever. And I'll link below a video where she was specifically asked, does 5G kill birds and bees? Okay. And she gave her 1-minute answer with exactly 0 facts in it. Okay. So she's just a proponent of 5G. She's a technology person, big follower, big believer in the Internet of Things, all this sort of crap. Okay, wonderful. Total full of shit. So then I looked up on the, yes, this is actually doing it. I looked up somebody who was going to be well respected. And I found Dr. Klaus Buchner, okay, German university professor, physicist, former member of European Parliament, and believe it or not, a Green Conservative Ecological, a member of the Green Conservative Ecological Democrat Party. He explains that bees and other insects, their bodies contain iron, and 5G waves disorient them because they interfere with the Earth's magnetic field. For this, right? Poles moving, okay? That helps bees know where they're going. He found in his studies that mobile radiation severely impacts the orientation of bees, okay? Now, creatures at all levels orient themselves by electromagnetic fields, Earth's magnetic field, weather fronts, air mass movements, whatever it would be. We all have that internal compass. You know how you can kind of tell, say, yeah, I think I'm heading north. Okay, people don't have it as finely tuned as the rest of nature does, right? But you get into this, and 5G disturbs the energy and information lines in nature which the bees rely on, okay? There's actually been a team of Indian researchers that has proved that the orientation of bees is affected by mobile phone radiation, okay? Dr. Buchner also found that mobile radiation leads to stress reactions and the doom of whole bee colonies, okay? Which kind of relates to what's going on here with Mountaintop Prepper, people he knows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When bees are stressed, what they do is they start trying to defend their social territory. They don't know exactly what's going on, so they start attacking each other, okay? Then eventually, because they think there's a threat, they cement all the cracks of the hives and the entry holes, with the, what's it called, propolis that they make to keep out the alleged enemy, that only those a figment of their imagination, okay? And after cementing all the cracks, they have a lack of oxygen, and thus the bees try to create air by flapping their wings, which heats everybody up and basically heats the whole hive up, and basically all the bees die of heat and suffocation, okay? Doctor also found that the mobile radiation weakens the bees' immune systems, okay? That when they found these deceased bees, they found that they had a very reduced immune system, and they wind up getting sick and dying, okay? So there's a whole bunch of different things that you can have happen that have been scientifically proven as to why we have this problem. Now, here's a name I think y'all will know. Albert Einstein, obviously long since dead. But Einstein quoted at one point, "If bees were ever to go extinct, the human species would follow in 4 years." Why? Food, period. Okay, it's not just honey, all right, that we need the bees to pollinate our fruits, our vegetables, all the crops we eat, 1/3 of the world's food supply. So this is the problem. You have the Green New Dealers pushing for, we've got to save the planet. At the same time, they're destroying it with what they're promoting, while the people who are saying, let's hold on here and study a little bit more, are being called wackos, conspiracy theorists, living in the 1800s, all this sort of stuff. No, they happen to be the more prudent ones who are listening to the real science, okay, not just trying to make a buck to save the human race, all right? It's funny that, like I said, 80% of the flying insects have been destroyed in the last 30 years, or the population is down 80% in the last 30 years. Yet we have this one great person who thinks we should all be eating bugs. Well, let's see. The food population in your utopia is down 80% in 30 years. Just want you to think about that one. What you're doing, 5G, Internet of Things, is destroying the food supply that you're promoting. Let's put the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay. So we got to figure out a solution, at least on our own level. So what can we do? Now, we need, as preppers, to attract honeybees, because honeybees are some of the best pollinators for our gardens or whatever it would be. So we need to make a garden that is welcoming to the bees that we so desperately need, to give them a home where maybe they can stay away from some of this 5G towers and all this sort of stuff. I mean, where I am, it's still 4G, all right? So maybe a little bit safer here. I don't know. I'm not an IT technology guru or anything like this, right? So this is what we can do. Planting flowers. Now, to give you this, bees are more attracted. Bees can see color, first off, okay? Planting flowers that are yellow, white, blue, and purple, those are going to attract more bees than the pinks, the oranges, and the reds. Okay, I know that's counterintuitive. Everybody thinks, oh, red roses and bees. No, actually, that if you want yellow roses or white roses are better to attract bees. Other flowers that you can plant. If you've got a garden, plant some flowers. You need those pollinators to come in. Asters, crocuses, dahlias, foxglove, geraniums, hollyhocks, hyacinth, marigolds, roses, sunflowers, zinnias. Okay, those are some good ones. Obviously, we're planting fruits and vegetables. That's something that we do, okay? Here's some good ones that will help the bee population, or at least bring the bee population to you where you need it, all right? Blackberries, cantaloupe, cucumbers, peppers, pumpkins, squash, strawberries, watermelons. All of them have flowers that attract the bees, okay? Even if you just got a little small patio backyard garden, okay? Herbs can also be helpful. Mint, okay, sage, rosemary, thyme. No, I'm not talking a Simon and Garfunkel song. Bee balm, those are all good ones, okay? Plant some of those. Again, they will attract the bees. If you're looking at planting trees in your yard, cherry trees, magnolias, crab apples, redbuds, those are good to bring in the bees, okay? Obviously, the one thing we got to do is stop using pesticides, okay? You know, somebody asked on a live stream Saturday night, and I said, yeah, you can use 7. I said, but be careful. Not only does it kill the bad bugs, it kills everything, kills the bees too. Okay, we want to try to avoid doing that. You know, that's a surefire way to make sure that you don't get any pollination. Put 7 dust all over everything, and bees come in and die. That doesn't help, okay? Sure, we all fight aphids and hornworms and caterpillars. They suck, okay? But we need to find other ways to get rid of them. We need the bees, guys, okay? This kind of goes out on a few different areas here. How is 5G detrimental? Okay, it's not airplanes falling out of the sky. It's teeny tiny little bees, okay? But we need the bees to eat, all right? The whole world works together. God created a very good idea here. Everything's kind of symbiotic, and you know, everything works together. We can't be killing the bees. Otherwise, we're like Albert Einstein says, and you go bye-bye to the human race in 4 years. Plant some flowers along with your vegetables, guys. It may save your life. Pinball out.